Carling Cup final, and it's Juninho going through against Bruno Ngotti, and still Juninho goes. And Simon Charlton in the
must be it. Must be Mr. Riley. How long? That's it.
There is the final whistle. Middlesbrough are the champions of the Carling Cup 2004. Bolo Zenden's second goal proving so important. You see what it means in the North Stand to the fans. You see what it means to Juninho as well. Frank Kidru has gone to ground. Mendieta in his first season at the club. 128 years without a trophy. It's finally over. What does it mean for Steve Gibson?
Well, Steve Gibson and Keith Lamb there in the picture, that they've been instrumental in everything that Middlesbrough have done over the last few years. They've worked really hard to get to this. A trophy, first time in their history. Into Europe, first time in their history. Mark Schwarzer there, a relieved man, but at the same time, the same man that saved them. Incredibly think that Mark Schwarzer in the first half was Middlesbrough's worst player, and he was also the best player. Saved the game for Middlesbrough after nearly giving it away. It was fantastic performances to a lot of individuals under extreme pressure near the end. But Egiog, Southgate, and in particular Frank Kidru and Danny Mills stood strong at the end.
Well, what a moment for Juninho. Lost 2 previous cup finals. Emerson Tom, who gave the penalty away, the former Sunderland player, he's got his hands on the cup already. The North Stand has gone absolutely wild. Steve McLaren has made history, the first ever Middlesbrough manager to take a trophy. For Bolton Wanderers, it's sad, glum faces, not just on the pitch, but in the stands as well. We will stay here, of course, on the Borough match on BOROTV Extra to see the trophy presentation made. It's being constructed in the centre of the pitch at the moment. Juninho hugging there, Grant Downey, Gareth Southgate, who won this trophy with Aston Villa, and will now lift it for Middlesbrough as well. He said he was coming here to win medals. He's got his first one, and this could be a launch pad. I haven't mentioned Europe yet, but we're off to the UEFA Cup.
Well, of course, you're talking about extra revenue that brings in, and plus attracting players to your club. If you're in Europe, it's very, very important. If you're looking at top draw players that want to be playing European football, well, Middlesbrough are now playing European football next season. It's fantastic for Steve Gibson, fantastic for Keith Lamb, fantastic for McLaren, the players, the coaching staff, but most importantly of all, fantastic for these supporters that are creating incredible scenes here, that have been through all this before at Wembley and come back. Heartache once, heartache twice, heartache a third time, fourth time, we've cracked it.
Well, Mark Schwarzer and Juninho embrace. Mark Schwarzer made it a little bit nervy for us for 70-odd minutes of the game, but it doesn't matter now, it doesn't count. Middlesbrough have their hands on the trophy. Middlesbrough have won the Carling Cup for 2004. Middlesbrough have won their first ever domestic piece of silverware and will now embark on a first ever campaign in the UEFA Cup as well. You feel a little bit for the Bolton Wanderers players, as you've said. Borough know what it's like to be in this situation and leave with nothing, but those are the scenes, those are the pictures we're going to be remembering. What it means to those fans, the 30,000 that have made, as we know, a pretty long journey in the snow.
I mean, we're just looking at the, well, Danny Mills, they're obviously delighted. What a lone move that's turned out for him. Left aside, it's struggling like mad. He could well be playing in the Nationwide next year. They're now picking up a cup final medal with Middlesbrough. Bolton players showed tremendous character if they felt to be 2-0 down after 7 minutes, to come back the way they did. They could easily get a draw out of this game. This game could have been get into extra time, but fantastic for Middlesbrough.
Well, the players at the moment just waiting on the pitch for the presentation of the Carling Cup, the medals and the Alan Hardacre Man of the Match Award. It will be made by the presentation party. And he billed this as JJ Okocha's match. Return from the African nation.
He was quiet, Michael, today, wasn't he? He never had much of an influence on the game. I felt that Middlesbrough throughout always looked dangerous in the counter-attack. And maybe if Juninho did a touch more pace on a couple of occasions, he might have been in front. If Mike Riley gives a penalty when we should have done it, might have been a bit more comfortable to make it 3-1. The Nicky Hunt unfell on Joseph Job, and numerous other occasions we were hitting them in the counter-attack. But we've got to remember the saves that Mark Schwarzer made that were hugely crucial in us winning this cup here today.
Well, none of the Borough fans are leaving. I have to tell you, the Bolton Wanderers end is emptying rapidly. Gareth Southgate will be lifting this trophy, that's for certain. And he will be leading his team into Europe next year as well. 30-odd thousand Borough fans here officially. I'm sure there's some other people that have managed to get in by hook or by crook. I was speaking to some fans outside that said they didn't have tickets, but they were going to get in somehow.
Well, the one they're singing about just now, the man that they're singing about now, certainly he's got a ticket right in the middle of the director's box. That's the chairman, Steve Gibson, getting a fantastic reception from the fans now. Great sing-song, chanting Steve Gibson's name. Lovely to hear.
Well, I think we might see the old clenched fist salute here, don't we? There's one, there's two, and there's number 3. Gareth Southgate has been such a great addition to the Middlesbrough side since Steve McLaren brought him to the club for £6.5 million from Aston Villa. A very passionate Englishman who will be trying, of course, to get into the 2004 side for the European Championships. Borough fans are going nowhere, and you can understand that. Do you think Middlesbrough and do you think Cardiff will be partying in red and white tonight?
I might even have a little shandy myself tonight.
I think I might have one too, Gordon.
And I think there's 30,000 just to our left here behind this goal that have created a fabulous atmosphere here today. I'll be having a little shandy as well tonight. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have been coming to watch Borough for a lot of years, waiting for this moment in time, and it's finally arrived. Terrific, absolutely fabulous.
Mark Schwarzer, been an ever-present in this Carling Cup run. Got to remember not just his contribution this afternoon, but some vital penalty saves in earlier rounds as well. Middlesbrough beat Brighton, Wigan, Everton, Spurs and Arsenal over 2 legs to win this trophy. The presentation stand is being constructed at the moment in the centre of the pitch. I think we're going to see some fireworks as well. We'll be staying right with it on BOROTV Extra on the Borough match. And I'm just trying to imagine what the scenes are going to be like back at home as well, because inside the stadium it's been absolutely electric. Bolo Zenden's second goal was so important. Borough, they scored 2 in 7 minutes, and then we'll be biting our fingernails or what?
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think Middlesbrough will be absolutely bouncing just now. I mean, my goodness. The game was so dramatic at times. You know, you go 2-0 in front after 7 minutes or so, and you think, at long last, a trophy, here we go. Maybe another goal, be nice and comfortable, but no, not Middlesbrough Football Club. An absolute howler, I'm afraid, by Mark Schwarzer to let Kevin Davis and Bolton Wanderers back into the game. And Bolton Wanderers put Middlesbrough in a lot of pressure right throughout the game. Middlesbrough still look dangerous in the counter-attack. Look, time and time again, they might get that all-important third goal, which can make us relax a little bit. Another game. Bolton still piling on the pressure. End of the day, who deserved to win? In my opinion, Middlesbrough deserved to win the game, but credit to Bolton to come back. They've been 2-0 down.
That's the presentation party who will give the Carling Cup to Middlesbrough. Mark Hunter is the Marketing and International Development Director for Coors the Brewery. Andy Williamson, the Director of Operations for the Football League. And the young lad you can see there is Thomas Coyle, who is the great-grandson of Alan Hardacre. That's the Man of the Match trophy, named after Alan Hardacre. It was his idea, this trophy. He was the man that came up with the idea. He was backed by the Football League's then president, Sir Joe Richards. And the Football League trophy was born, won of course in '61 by Aston Villa. It's gone through a number of names. It's the Carling Cup this year, and it's the Carling Cup which Middlesbrough have won. And what's going through the players' minds now, the Middlesbrough players' minds?
Well, it's not, there'll be nothing. It's just elation just now. I think it takes a day or two for everything like that to sink in. You know, just what's actually been achieved here today. And it really is a momentous achievement by these players, and of course Steve McLaren. It's historic. It's as simple as that. And I think I said at the start of the game, in 25, 30 years' time, there'll be Middlesbrough fans rattling off the name of the 11 players, or more than 11 players here today that were used, that won that first ever trophy for Middlesbrough Football Club. I mean, it's astonishing to think the last trophy that came back to the North East, you're talking about hotbed of football, Newcastle, Sunderland, of course, Middlesbrough. It's 30-odd years ago when Sunderland beat Leeds United at Wembley, and this is the first team from the North East to win a trophy since then, which is incredible to think.
Well, JJ Okocha leads the Bolton Wanderers team to the presentation party. Just out of your picture, round of applause from the Middlesbrough players. It takes two teams for a great final, and we've had a great final. And Bolton Wanderers and Sam Allardyce's side have played their part. But today was Middlesbrough's day. UC Jääskeläinen, who conceded two in the very early stages of this match, and the medals were actually minted in the jewellery quarter in Birmingham.
Well, I know the feeling, Michael. I played in a League Cup final before. I think it was called the Coca-Cola Cup final, and finished up in the losing side to Liverpool when I was at Manchester United. And it's just a completely empty feeling. You'd rather just a helicopter come onto the field just now, jump into it, your stripping boots on, and go home.
Finally, Sam Allardyce collects his trophy. He will have to wait a little bit longer for Bolton Wanderers' first prize since 1958 and his first trophy as the Bolton Wanderers manager. It's a loser's medal this time around. And now the lights have gone out in the Millennium Stadium, as promised, for the finale.
This is just incredible, Michael. What a scene this is. And when the lads go up and get their medals, and Gareth Southgate picks this trophy up, this North End will absolutely take off here at Millennium Stadium. What a sight. Absolutely fantastic.
There's red and white ribbons on the Carling Cup. It's in the spotlight as it comes across the Millennium Stadium pitch. A pitch which has seen Borough triumph after 128 years of hurt. It's got its army escort there. Soon it'll be in the very, very safe hands of Gareth Southgate. But what a setting, what an occasion this is for everyone involved in Middlesbrough Football Club. Players come and go, managers come and go. The supporters were always there. And this will mean so much to so many people. That's the prize. That's what they've been playing for. To lift that trophy, to get those hands on that winner's medal. There's the North Stand, and Steve McLaren is leading his side up there in the tracksuit. He gets presented with his winner's medal. 2.5 years as the Borough boss, and he wins the first trophy. And I think now he leaves stage right to let his players take their moment in the sun. Bolo Zenden it is that picks up the Man of the Match award, the Alan Hardaker trophy. It was his goal, of course, that put Borough 2 up. Borough's players will remain on that stand for Gareth Southgate to lift that trophy last of all.
Good choice for Man of the Match, Michael. Excellent choice. Whoever made it Bolo's end, then I thought I can't agree more.
Well, look what it means to Doriva. Been in the country a year or so. Stuart Downing, born in Pallister Park, locally born, come through the ranks. And Steve Gibson is making his way onto the pitch now with Chief Executive Keith Lamb as well. They receive a tremendous reception from the Middlesbrough fans. Chris Riggott, who played so well in the semi-finals, gets his hand on a medal.
And the little man, my goodness gracious. It's wonderful to see a player that I've worked with before, Michael, and as a person I loved him, as a player I loved him, and I've seen Steve Gibson come on the pitch here, wonderful.
So this is the moment, the Carling Cup final 2004, and the trophy is Middlesbrough's. Well, the fireworks are going off around us at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. That is the scene that we are seeing at the moment. That's the scene in the North Stand as the flags are being raised. And that's the victorious team, and that trophy will be passed round now. And every one of those players played their part in what's been a wonderful final and a wonderful occasion.
Yeah, it's an emotional moment for a lot of people, Michael. You think of people that have been connected with the club for a long, long while. Players like Mark Schwartz and Juninho suffered cup final disappointment before. I thought it was a wonderful picture there when Steve Gibson come on with Keith Lamb at the end of the pitch here, and the photographs come up on the big screen. A wonderful reception for the Middlesbrough fans. It was absolutely fabulous.
Well, these are the pictures we wanted to see. These are the pictures that we've been dreaming about bringing you on BOROTV Extra on the Borough match since we started just over 6 years ago. The pictures of Middlesbrough doing a lap of honour, having won a major trophy. There is Steve Gibson. I bet he's got some grey hairs that have emerged during the course of this afternoon. That says it all. Carling Cup Final 2004. And the champagne is being sprayed because Middlesbrough have won the trophy. Well, we're going to stay with it. We're going to milk every moment of this. And don't forget, all this week, of course, on BOROTV Extra, we will have all the reactions for you on News Extra every weekday evening at 6:05. I've got a pretty good feeling we'll probably be showing this game again a few times as well. And we'll have all the post-match reactions coming up for you shortly too. Well, they said the North Stand and the North dressing room was the lucky end. Proved lucky for Middlesbrough this afternoon.
Yeah, we're looking at one end, absolutely bouncing and joyous. We're looking at a deserted Bolton Wanderers then. Well, that's cup finals for you. I'm afraid that's the way it works. Dejected Bolton Wanderers players in the dressing room, dejected Bolton fans. But my goodness, we've been through a bit of fabulous pictures here for Steve Gibson.
How many chairmen think that this gets?
No, I don't think so. But you don't often see him in the public eye, and I think they know what it means to Steve. Absolutely wonderful.
He's got his hand on the trophy, and he's drinking the champagne. Steve Gibson, born in Middlesbrough, invested in his own hometown club, saved it from extinction back in 1986, and less than 20 years later, in 2004, Middlesbrough finally won that trophy. The suit's ruined, mind you.
Yeah, but it's a free suit anyway, it's a cup final suit, so it doesn't matter. And with a pink tie, well, it doesn't really matter about that either. I don't think Steve will be bothered. Oh, there's Keith Lamb getting a bit of champagne poured over. He won't like that, he likes nothing going to waste.
It's Pig Bag, which is echoing around, I was going to say the Riverside, out of habit, the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. The Borough players will go now on their well-deserved lap of honour. Those fans make that end their own. Well, I don't think I've seen many more joyous scenes in cup finals than the ones we're seeing now. Manchester United, the Liverpool, the Arsenals get to come to these occasions quite regularly, but for Middlesbrough as a club,
it means a lot, and there's idiots in the papers in the week building up to this saying that Bolton Middlesbrough not a great final. You try telling that to 30,000 Middlesbrough fans that have made the trip down here today. Absolutely fantastic scene. You see what it means to these supporters that are behind the goals here. They've been through heartache with 3 visits to Wembley, lost in 3 occasions. My goodness, they don't half deserve it. And I mentioned the players that have been here before when Middlesbrough, not here at Wembley rather, Mark Schwartz and Juninho. It could have all went horribly wrong for Mark Schwartz after that terrible blunder he made earlier in the game, but redeemed himself with some fantastic save. And some of these people we're seeing in the pictures right now have been watching Borough for year after year after year. Let them savour the moment. Wonderful.
Gareth Southgate has his hands on the first trophy as a Middlesbrough player. We have a European campaign to look forward to now, Gordon, and the chance of some big European nights at the Riverside.
Yeah, a bit Bangor or something we'll get in the first round, or something for the Ukraine. But there again, you could get there's some terrific teams in that UEFA Cup just now. You could get a Barcelona, Milan. You just never know. Could be another fantastic night to look forward to.
team are going on their lap of honour now. They're taking the applause of the crowd. They've had a pose for their photos. They've been drinking their champagne. They're dancing on the pitch, and they'll be dancing on the streets of Teesside and indeed in the streets of Cardiff tonight. Juninho says that this winner's medal will mean as much to him as winning the World Cup with Brazil, and I believe it when he says it as well. I really do.
He's got a great affection for Middlesbrough the town and for Middlesbrough Football Club, and I think it'd be fair to say, Michael, they've got a fair old affection for him as well. They absolutely adore the little fella.
Well, it's been a wonderful occasion. It's been a wonderful weekend. And the fact that Middlesbrough have won, courtesy of goals by Joseph Job and Bolo Zenden. Bolton hit back Kevin Davies on 20 minutes, but it wasn't enough for Bolton this afternoon. George Boateng, Juninho are leading the troops round. Not so much a lap of honour as half a lap, really.
Nah, that's just what it's all about. It makes the wait worthwhile. I know it's been a long wait for a trophy, and I keep mentioning that the horrible moments at Wembley they've played well. That's all forgotten at this moment in time, that's for sure.
Well, we were talking about 97 and 98 and the build-up to this. We've been talking about those ever since they happened. Just trying to imagine just how long we're going to be talking about this one. I'm really pleased for Mark Schwarzer. It could have turned out to be a horrible afternoon for him.
Well, I thought it showed unbelievable character because it was a little mighty clanger he dropped, and then he turned his game round the way he did. I mean, he had 3 saves. I'd put 2 of them. Well, you're talking 2 in the world-class bracket, Michael. Honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Not getting carried away with the occasion either. There was 2 absolutely sensational saves and 1 brilliant save.
128 years this club has been in existence. From Ayresome Park to the Riverside in the mid-1990s, to the current chairman Steve Gibson, who saved the club from extinction. A lot of big name players arrived. Juninho came back twice, and now the players will disappear down the tunnel where the celebrations will certainly continue, I'm sure, in the dressing room. But from Gordon McQueen and from myself, Michael Waydock, on the Borough Match on BOROTV Extra, it's been our real privilege to talk through what's been a history-making final. Your final thoughts, Gordon?
Well, just, it's hard to put it into words, Michael. It's just a fantastic day for everybody connected with Middlesbrough Football Club, and it's been a pleasure doing it here for BOROTV today.
From the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, on the Borough Match on BOROTV Extra. I've been dreaming about saying these words, and I've been practicing them as well. Middlesbrough are the Carling Cup champions 2004. The final score, Middlesbrough 2, Bolton Wanderers 1.
Steve, we know how much this means to the fans, to the club. What about yourself?
Unbelievable, just a great moment, and it's been a long time coming. The club's worked really hard at every level, and we've been building our club year by year, month by month, and today hopefully is the start of a golden era for Middlesbrough Football Club, and I think we all really believe that, and I think around the club, around the town, they can start to believe in our football club.
Looking at the game itself, the first goal came very quickly. Were you around to see it?
I wasn't. I was busy getting changed into my tracksuit, and I thought I could have stayed in my suit, and I thought, no, I'll get the lucky tracksuit on, and so it proved. And I came down and I said, my God, we're 1-0 up, I might as well stay in the dressing room. I just settled down in my seat and we're 2-0 up. I think that was the defining moment of the game, although we gifted Bolton the goal. After that, it was always going to be difficult, and especially the second half, we defended magnificently.
It was fast and it was fierce, but we must talk about Mark Schwarzer. How did you feel for him after that goal went in? Well,
obviously after that, you know, you go one of two ways. You either collapse completely, or you fight back, and Mark fought back. I mean, he made 2 or 3 fantastic saves after that, which really kept us in the game and enabled us to go in at 2-1 at half time. So, although anyone can make a mistake, it was a big one to make, but he certainly after that made up for it.
You've worked so hard and you've talked about belief. You've had belief right from the beginning.
Well, you've got to keep on going, you've got to be tenacious, and you've got to take the knocks, and you've got to bounce down. And at our club we've taken quite a few knocks, but let's not talk about that. Let's enjoy the day. I thought the fans were absolutely magnificent. They have been for a long time, and today's for them.
Now, you're saying it has been a long time coming. You've only been at the club for a few years now, so you can understand how the fans feel.
This is for them. You saw that before the game, going through the streets. You saw the reception we got. You saw how many were there. You saw at the end what it means to these people on Teesside, but especially also the chairman, because I think he's put so much into this club. And you saw it, rather than the players and the manager, the fans are cheering for. It's Steve Gibson, the chairman.
We heard the fans calling your name. Did it take much persuading to get on the pitch at the end?
Well, I think I was asked to go on, and I was a little bit sensitive about going on. I didn't want to be seen to be milking the occasion, but it's an emotional day and it's an emotional time, and I enjoyed it.
Of course, there's bigger things to come. Europe next year.
Yeah, we haven't proud mind to that. We've just concentrated on enjoying ourselves, and Europe will be great for our town. It puts our town on the map.
On a personal level, you're the only English manager in the last 8 years to lift this trophy. So how did that feel?
It's great on a personal level. I'm delighted that I set out to achieve the ambition of winning the first trophy for Middlesbrough. That's something we talked about the first day, me and the chairman. I'm delighted for the staff who came here and followed with me, and people who were here that have been magnificent, and they deserve this. But especially also player-wise, Gareth Southgate, who's been an absolute talisman for us, and deserves this as much as anybody else.
And of course we do have that first piece of silverware, but we also get to Europe as well.
Yeah, we will not think of that. I think we'll enjoy this and think about Europe next year.
Gareth, what's going through your mind as club captain? You finally got your hands on that trophy.
Just trying to soak up the day, because it's an incredible day. From the minute we drove through Cardiff, the Middlesbrough fans just everywhere. You know, I mean, I don't know what Bolton must have think, because our fans by the entrance and driving in were just flooded the place. Incredible atmosphere from the start. You know, they deserve it so much, and we're proud to have finally given them something.
Let's talk through the match. And did you think you were going to be 2 up in 7 minutes?
We could have never hoped to have had a start like that, and in a way it was too good a start. You know, we hadn't even started playing, but then meant that Bolton had to just throw things forward and take a chance. They had nothing to lose then, so we had to soak up a lot of pressure. And I didn't think the first half we played particularly well, but the second half we had so many breakaways and we looked really good on the break.
Obviously Bolton towards the end threw everything at you, having got the 1 goal back. How nervy was it out there?
Well, you feel that you're in control, but you're always aware that the way they were playing, it only needs a little knockdown, a flick on, and somebody can score. So, you know, everybody was immense, really. I mean, Schwartz, having made the mistake, some of the saves he made, he still came for his crosses. Big Hugo at the end, a couple of vital clearances. Everybody played a massive part.
We talked about the scenes before the game, and we spoke earlier in the week about Wembley and now here at Cardiff. What about those scenes at the end? Did you experience anything quite like that?
No. I mean, I think that kind of showed what it means to the people of Teesside. We've waited such a long time and had, you know, disappointment in the recent past. Can't get my words out. But
I'll forgive you.
I mean, you know, we're going to have a hell of a night, hell of a week, hell of a month. I don't know how long it's going to go on for, but it'll be very special going back there. I know that.
Europe next. Thought about that yet?
No, because we didn't even want to think about that. You know, we never discussed it before, but again, it's the first for the club, and it's something that we can all look forward to next season. So, fantastic.
It's a fantastic achievement. You know, we've worked very hard for it. You know, the supporters have suffered a lot over the last 10 years or so. You know, and it's something that's it's come off. You know, we've really worked hard for, like I said, and it's just good that it's over with and that we're finally won a cup.
Do you imagine you'd be 2 up in 7 minutes?
Well, obviously the idea of us was to go out there and get on them, get onto them, and give them space, and put pressure on them, and that's what we did, And often when you do things like that in games, you can often nick a couple of goals here and there, and we did fantastically well in the first, say, 20 minutes or so, and we looked like if there was a possibility we could have gone on and scored a couple more.
It doesn't really matter now, but what happens with the Doesn't really matter now, Mark, but I'm going to ask you about the goal against and what happened.
No excuse. Just took my eye off the ball, lack of concentration. You name it. You know, that's something you don't do at home. It's just, it's just a bad mistake, and I've got no excuse for it. You know, it's really what it is. Just a bad mistake, and fortunately, it didn't cost us the game in the end.
Do you then have to really concentrate to get yourself back in the right frame of mind?
No, not at all, really. It's just a case of getting back down to basics and knowing that you had to forget about what happened as much as possible and concentrate on the game.
I mean, I'm absolutely delighted. It was a good performance. We started off really well, 2-0 up, what more you ask for? And then all of a sudden we get the 2-1. They're back in the game. They had a few big chances, and Schwartzy was magnificent. And in the second half, I think we played really well, very organised, better football than in the first half. It's a team thing, is it?
I could ask you about the penalty. Did you slip? What happened? It went in, so it didn't really matter. But what happened?
Well, I slipped. I've seen the captain of the national team doing it once. Unfortunately, I missed back then, but now I had the luck that it went in. I just slipped away.
Obviously, you played for some big sides and you've been involved in big competitions. How did the scenes at the end here in Cardiff compare for you?
It's always good. I mean, you win. What more can you ask for? The fans were great today. Really appreciate the way they've treated us during the season, and it's good that it can go to a climax like that.
For a European competition next year, are you thinking about that as a Middlesbrough player yet, or is that not in your thoughts?
There's still a lot to come, but I'm really pleased for everybody, and also for me, that we got into Europe next season. The other things as well, we have a few games left in the league, but it's good that we already know that we're going to get there in the end.
Frank, how does it feel to have won the Carling Cup?
I don't know. It's too big. I can't describe. That's unbelievable. It is. I'm massive. Instead, the crowd, the fans who traveled today, they were fantastic, brilliant, and I can imagine 120 years without something. It has happened now, and I'm proud because I'm part of that. So I can't describe it. It's too big.
2 up in 7 minutes. Was that better than you'd imagined and dreamed?
No, we know we will be ready from the start because it's a big game, a big occasion. We prepare all the year for this game, or for a game like that. We're waiting for the big game, so we were prepared. We know from the start, maybe, I don't know, watching in the crowd, looking for someone, also maybe not concentrate. And what's happened? 2 goals in 7 minutes.
Was it nervy towards the end when Bolton obviously pulled one back and were really going for it?
I think we were brilliant in the second half. We did not. They have a shot from 30 yards, 25 yards. They were easy for us, and they were more dangerous in the first half. After the first goal, maybe they were lifting up a little bit. So, in the main game, we dominate them, and we can score 3 or 4 goals, even more in the second half, and when we break away. But we've just been solid in the back. All the team were very hard, and I'm very proud to be in this team today.
It's a great feeling. For me, I've had 1 or 2 disappointments in the past in big games and in tournaments and stuff. So I made a decision after the game, just sort of to try and sit back and savour it. Before the big games that I've played in have all gone too quickly. But hopefully this one, we'll remember this one. The most important thing is, you can see that the whole squad here. It's a great day for the whole squad. All the people that have played in the game. Let's not forget like Malcolm Christie, who got us off to a start back against Brighton, and all the lads that have played a part throughout the competition as well. The staff, but most importantly, it's a day for the fans and the chairman. They're the ones that have put an awful lot of effort and time and money into this club, and really it's now a day for them. On the way, on the bus on the way in, it's fantastic scenes to see streets full of Middlesbrough fans, and obviously now they're going to go on. God knows when they're going to get back to Teesside.
Wednesday.
Probably a week Wednesday. But no, it's deserved for them. I hope they thoroughly enjoy their night, as we will. And obviously now it's not just winning today, obviously it puts us in Europe as well. Obviously it's a fantastic achievement.
Looking forward to a European campaign with Middlesbrough then?
Yeah, let's hope so, eh? Like we said, for the club, it's some big nights of football. I I'm lucky. I'm one of the ones that have been there before, and it's fantastic. You get some great occasions, some great matches, and hopefully now all these lads will get to experience that.